Please note that everything in this particular video is completely optional. I've completed my narration, and all my narration matches up nicely with each of my photos. I've also made sure that my music isn't so loud that I can't hear my narration. So I dragged this down to about 65% here. There we go. So I can hear my narration more than the music, which is, the narration is more important. But this slider here only controls the overall volume of that track. If I want to get a little bit more precise with that, I have to do something different. And also, I decided that I want to have a different music track. Like, I had a really hard time deciding between this one, It's Time for Business, and this one, Keep It Simple. So I want to use both of them. Again, this is completely optional, but I definitely have some students that are going to want to do this. So the first thing I need to do is create an additional audio track, and I'm going to title this additional audio track Intro Music, because I'm only going to use it at the beginning of my video. Then I'm going to drag my It's Time for Business down to that track. But the problem is, when the title sequence ends, this music's still going to be playing. So I like this music. It's going to grab my viewer's attention. But now I've got two tracks playing at the same time. So of course, you know that we can shorten this clip by just moving the playhead. And I want it to stop when this one comes in, but I don't want it to be super abrupt like that. So I'm going to split the clip. I'm going to delete this extra part here. And just like I did earlier at the end of my audio 1 track here, I'm going to make sure that I have the levels shown here by clicking on this button and clicking on audio, okay? And then I have this blue bar at the top here. I'm going to click where I want the fade to begin. So you can see right up here the music starts right up around that area. So I'm going to click there. It's going to give me this dot. And I'm going to click here on the second dot, and I'm going to drag that down so that when this one begins, this one is already fading out. And let me take a listen to that. Actually sounded pretty good. Maybe I want to have it start a little bit later. So I would drag this first dot here over a little bit more to the right. And if I want to get crazy, I could even extend this a little bit longer so you still hear it fading out as I start talking.
Our pet turtle Herman.
Which would be fine too. So it's really all about preference there. Just make sure you're not overwhelming the listener with what you have there. And if you want to get really crazy, and some people really enjoy doing this, you could keep this track the way it was, or you can have it start again at the end. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the end here. I'm going to zoom out so I can make that easier. And I'm going to have that same music begin again as my end credits come in. Again, completely optional, but it's something you might want to do. So to do that, I'm going to make sure that this original fade that I had on this track, I'm going to make sure that that one starts earlier. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back to before my credits. So as my last picture is going away, that is fading out, and then I'm going to create a fade in, which just do it the opposite way. Instead of this going down, you're going to have it coming up. So you would click a little bit farther onto this blue line to give you a second dot here, and then you click on the first dot and you drag it down. So if the line is going up, that means the music is coming up. The volume is coming up, just like if you were turning up the music on the car stereo or on your phone or whatever it might be. So this one's going to be going down while this one's coming up. And let me take a listen to that. And I think that worked out pretty well. Of course, I'm going to listen in my headphones or earbuds to make it exactly the way I want it to be. Still having a little trouble hearing my voiceover, so I'm going to pull the volume of my music down a little bit more and make sure that that is easily heard.